This has been a hard week here on Prince Edward Island, one of the hardest weeks during what is now more than a year and a half of journeying through this pandemic. It's been particularly tough for young islanders who are dealing with school disruptions and really not knowing what the next day might hold for them. It's also been really difficult for parents and families and teachers and staff who are constantly reacting to changing circumstances and conditions and rules. And this is, of course, new for those of us who are fortunate enough to live here on Prince Edward Island. We haven't had to deal with an outbreak or community spread at all. And I'm now hearing daily from islanders of all ages that they are tired and they're scared. And I'm thinking constantly of our kids and hoping, as all islanders are, that this outbreak will be over as quickly as possible. Thinking back a couple of weeks ago, I brought forward an alternative position on what our back-to-school plan should look like. A plan that included mandatory masking, better ventilation, essentially utilizing all of the measures that we have at our disposal to reduce risks. And that pissed off the Premier. Well, what pisses me off is that when islanders brought forward real concerns about their health and safety, they got a scolding from the Premier. What else upsets me and saddens me is that this precious ability we have here on Prince Edward Island for politicians of different parties to work together, to sit down and listen to different perspectives and come forward with strong policies on difficult issues, that seems to be no longer important or desirable for the Premier. Having said all that, we still live in a special place, a place that's done extraordinarily well. But we just cannot be complacent and assume that it's always going to be that way. I want to be clear that I support the tighter measures that were recently brought in, and I hope that we will see more of the ideas that we have been proposing over the last little while, things like a vaccine passport, unpaid sick days for parents and caregivers who need to stay home with their children who are self-isolating, or perhaps children who are simply bewildered and scared. We will get through this, as we have done all the way through this pandemic. And our most powerful tool, the thing that has helped us along all the way, is that here on Prince Edward Island, there is a willingness for islanders to take care of each other and to do what's necessary and best for the entire community. I want to end by thanking students, thanking parents and teachers and staff who are dealing with really unimaginable stresses at this time, of having to go into school not knowing what awaits you, of having to wear a mask for extended hours every day. Thank you. I also want to thank all islanders who have got us through this pandemic by looking out for each other. And I know that we will get through this difficult time by continuing to do the same and making sure that our province remains strong and safe. Thank you.